Tops or
Tops
bottoms?
and bottoms. Happy Pride.
Wow.
Happy Pride.
Okay. We're starting it real hot today during
Let's
this Pride Month.
go.
It's fine. Hello everyone, and welcome back to Ampistrano. I am D&D Jordan Lee, she, her, the storyteller, producer, creator of Ampistrano, and we're so excited for today. Happy Pride Month again. We're gonna say that
Pride.
because yes.
Like a lot.
Before we dive into our episode today, though, let's go around and do some quick introductions, as well as if you have any announcements that you would like to make, now's the perfect time to make them. So I'm going to hop over to Robo. Robo, who are you? Who are you playing?
Why me? Why me first?
Because I wanted to.
Hi, it's me,
Easy.
Robo Goblin. I don't know why my voice broke.
Because it's Pride, buddy.
Because it's Pride. Hi. The hell was I gonna do? Oh, you can find me at TTRPGifts everywhere, and you should stay tuned for announcements over this week because it's something pretty cool. But that's all I'm gonna say. Also, happy Pride, and wearing a Pride Owlbear shirt. So yay!
Perfect. Thank you so much, Robo. Let's jump over to April.
Hi, I didn't know I was up next. I couldn't remember which way the order that I'm April. You can find me as April Ray Gun all over the internet. I play the Monk and Moon Fairy Ori, and that's all I have. Hi.
Sure. Thank you so much, April. Let's jump over to Fair.
First of all, this whole jumping around to other people randomly is not it. It's not it. Check yourself. Second, hi, I'm Fair or Farron. I'll be playing Theodora Shadeson, your Battle Master Fighter and Shifter. And my announcement today is you should commission Jordan for overlays and production work and even consultation work because she's amazing. And also, sorry, my brain cell just literally dissolved. Oh, you could support her by also donating at coffee, coffee.com/D&D Jordan Lee. And also supporting our Patreon, which Jordan will tell you more about when she's up.
Thank you so much, Fair. I'm gonna jump over then to Sin.
Well, not Oria, good lord, Theodora, and that by that we mean Fair, who are all very different people. Took the only announcement that I had to share today. So, you get, hi, my name is Sinziak, your resident sunflower, he, they, and today I'm going to be playing Blackstone, your resident they, but he is fine, who is probably going to ask several questions during this episode. Oh boy. We're in trouble, aren't we?
It'll be great. Also, Sin just got finished producing a wonderful actual play. Did a fantastic job over on, I believe it was Demiplane, right?
Yep, it was Demiplane. They had their finale for Enemy of My Enemy. So if you like Vampire the Masquerade or Hunter the Reckoning, it's going to be a fun little short arc story to go and watch. Although, if you like, Vampire the Masquerade, you should be, finding out what Fair is doing. I'm just saying.
All good. And last but certainly not least, Duval.
Duval. Hey, everybody. My name is Jacob Plick, Duval King Jacob, wherever one can be found on the internet. I use he, him pronouns. And today, I'll be playing Waldor. He also uses he, him pronouns. He's a total life cleric. And these are trifling times in this man's life right now between a situation with this guy that I've been looking for and also this lovely lady that thinks I just stood on a date. I think we'll be fine. It'll be cool. We're gonna have a good time. Also, quick announcement, next week, starting actually tomorrow, myself a little later in the week, myself, Honorian, Persephoroth, a few other awesome streamers are going to be fundraising via playing the Final Fantasy V 4-Job Fiesta Challenge. We're actually assigned specific jobs in Final Fantasy V, and we're supposed to be running through the game with that. And we're raising money for the National Black Trans Advocacy Coalition. There'll be a Tiltify link, and because Ferris, who's a character in Final Fantasy V, for the uninitiated, says trans rights, and you should too. So we'll watch out on the socials for scheduled times as well as the Tiltify. Thanks, and love your butt. Happy Pride.
Happy Pride. Thank you so much, Duval. All right, we have a couple more quick little announcements before we dive into today's episode. So y'all, to get serious for a moment, things are a bit scary as creators in this space where we are currently at, and things are happening. So please consider supporting the creators' actual plays, those people that and shows that you love to watch, whether that be subscribing to their YouTube, Patreon, following them on social media. It seriously helps a lot. So this goes for us, but also those creators and shows that you love to watch. Tell people and creators why you like their shows and their creations. I'm saying this obviously, again, referencing other shows and people, but also ourselves. There's so much that we want to do with supporting incredible people and telling wonderful stories, but we need your help. So please consider subscribing to our YouTube. It's free. I believe we're at 159 subscribers, and I would love to see that grow with our community building out. Follow us on social medias. Consider joining our Patreon. Seriously, I just had a wonderful chat with Fair about Diodora, and I've had a wonderful chat with Duval about Weldor. We have April and Toby and Robo and Blackstone and Sin. We have all these wonderful characters and people. Yes.
How come Robo gets two?
I started fixing
It's
because I was
Robo,
getting
that's why.
flustered.
It's Pride Month.
It's Pride Month.
We like them more.
You ain't the
No,
only
that
person
is
on
not
here.
true, April. Lord, that is not true. But regardless, there's a ton of stuff that we want to do, including potentially perhaps launching a Patreon-only campaign, and getting some more video edits, things like that. But we need your help to do it. So please consider checking out our Patreon and doing all of that as well. We update it 3 times a month, and it helps to support this cast and people we want to continue to bring on and support. Special thank you to Sphinx, Seven, Mama Strange, Fluffy Snowfall, Chris Gideon, Buzz Lightyear, and Lily42 for your support. All right, fun stuff. Mark your calendars, because June is not only a special month with Happy Pride, and another cast member has their birthday this month. It's also our birth month for Ampistrano. So on Saturday, June 24th at 3 p.m. Eastern, 12 p.m. Pacific, stay tuned for a very special episode and our 1-year celebration. We're going to have giveaways, our usual shenanigans, and more. So stay tuned to our socials and our Patreon for more details. All right, y'all. Is there anything else that I'm forgetting before we get started?
Cooper says hello.
Hi, Cooper. All right, y'all. Without further ado, let us go beyond the veil of Ampistrano.
That also true.
It's very true. All right, y'all. So we're gonna get started. So
Okay.
when last we left our adventurers, the group had gotten the name of a strange rogue figure who had led the assault on Vibrant, Belsarian. Toby and Blackstone experimented with lightning to power up the barriers, giving some additional time to an exhausted Ignacio, as well as the recovering people of Vibran. Deodora and Oria talked with each other about how they were doing and feeling, with Deodora admitting that she felt bothered with how things had gone with Jeremy. Weldor and Blackstone paired up to offer a cinematic record to the recovering people of Vibran, offering hope to them and to the tree. They set off from Vibran, heading northwest and further into the Genora wetlands, finding the small explosion spot that Toby and Oria had seen earlier in the day, and proceeded along the path. After thoroughly investigating the path and trail, even involving their familiars in on this task, they concluded that the path to Felk and the trail were going the same way. Weldor contacted Geegan and sent along twin half-elf humanoids named Sulk and Sylvinia to escort them to Felk. After some time, the path and magical spiritual trail that they were all following diverted, with Felk going to the left and the trail heading past Felk to the right. Leaving Sulk and Sylvinia at the divergence, the rest of the group continued forward and found a meadow with a tree at the bottom of the hill, from several rock formations gathered in a circle, which seems somewhat familiar to Blackstone. Several of those flowers seen previously in the assault on Vibran were also present and decorating parts of the meadow. In the center of the circle was a tomb that bore the mark of the Ouroboros Society. After mending it, the group headed down the stairs into the darkness, and that is where we pick up. The last of the afternoon rays disappear as the door of the tomb closes behind you. You now find yourselves in a pitch-black darkness with Toby's light giving some assistance. The air has a dryness to it and smells musty with a lingering hint of decay and rot. You find yourselves in a small room. Before I proceed further, what is the marching order of this, as I'm going to pull us over to the map that we'll be using for today. Special thank you, by the way, to Tengu and Fluffy Snowfall for turning my chicken scratch into these maps that you'll be seeing today. So thank you very much. And I'm just going to adjust it slightly so we can see everything.
I think the stealthy one should go first.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll be in front because
Yeah, I'll be right with you. Or I think your stealth is higher than mine, right? What's your stealth?
like my modifier on that is a 9.
Okay, mine's an 8, so I'll be like a few steps behind you on the other side of the hallway. We'll be like flanking hallways.
Who's the not stealthy one? Oh, Deodora. Okay.
That would be me.
Are you wearing plate armor or anything like? Yeah. Okay.
I think we still have Pass Without Trace up because
You do.
It. So I have chainmail, but that still gives me disadvantage on stealth checks. So
Cool. So I'll stay behind them then. I'll at the last spot. Yeah.
Okay. You all should be able to move your actual characters on the map. So I'll take it as you are descending down. The room is small with ceilings that are overhead about 20 feet. Various vines and roots are sticking out of the ceiling and hanging down in a sort of vegetative canopy. The walls around are dusted and dirtied. In the center of the room is a statue of an orc man seemingly running from a medium-sized lizard on all fours. All of you would know that this is a basilisk.
Ah, shit.
It's a statue. It's not live. So, to let y'all know.
Get on the nose, Jordan. Respect.
So,
Okay.
what do you all do?
I'll lean next to Blackstone. On your lead.
Absolutely. Also, everyone, right. I do have a question. Um, as you all are probably aware, I do not necessarily possess the need to eat, drink, or like breathe, and I suppose resting, for that matter, also works differently for me. But how are the rest of you? Today has been quite a taxing night.
Bit heroin to say the least. If I'm being honest with myself, I utilized many of my resources more than I anticipated.
Should we try to find a place to rest sooner than later?
Suppose
Yeah.
the question would be where.
Well,
We could try to leave. Just open the door.
perhaps
Yeah.
this structure may or may not have sleeping quarters. I remember the last one of these we were in.
They always seem to.
Yeah, I like the idea of that Oria had. Like, we could go back to where we come from, and we can set up camp there.
Right. Suppose the question is, in the meeting right before that, do we want to do any sort of reconnaissance before that? With you more speedy types.
Well, that is a thing I do relatively well, so let me go and see what I might find. Give me
All
a
right.
moment. That's where we're going to do a thing. So I'm going to, for the room that we're in, I'm going to try to find wherever shadows might be and try to stay to those.
Okay. The entire room is pretty much shadow. The only light that's coming currently is from the light that Toby has from that flame. Otherwise, there's no braziers lit. There's nothing. It is pretty dark in here. The only other thing of note is directly across from those stairs is two stone doors. That's it.
Okay. So there's just these two statues here, two stone doors over there.
That's it.
Do I see anything else in the room? And very specifically, do I see this thing?
This thing? What do you mean by... Oh, that was not supposed to be there.
Okay, then I didn't see it.
Yep, that's not supposed to be there. No, that might have been my error when I was fixing some things.
Yeah, I saw that and I was like, well, fuck.
No. Nope, it's just the room.
That's why I said,
That's
can we
it.
open the door? Can we back out?
No,
That's
it.
So, I take a look around the room and I do go to see a couple of things. Are there any like carvings or etchings on any of the stone doors?
It does look like there are some carvings, and instead of a like doorknob, it's indentations where you would put your hands to either looks like a pull door, so pulling the door towards you. Otherwise, there's not really any other designs that are really noticeable on it. It's covered in a thick coat of dust and dirt, so it's kind of hard to see, even with your high perception and the light that's coming from Toby. It's difficult to see any other discerning factors.
Okay. And then, do any of you happen to know, or be able to... Toby, I believe you have like a flame in your hand. Actually, could I just borrow you for a moment, please?
Okay.
For what it's worth, I don't see anyone up here.
All right. Sure.
Sorry, just for clarity, have you walked into the room itself yet? Have you like gone down those stairs?
Oh, I should probably do that, yes. I don't know which way is up or down in this room, so I'm going to just place myself right about...
Where y'all are at is where the stairs are, and so
Okay.
the lower part of the room is right where you kind of put yourself, Blackstone. So
The darker part of the stairs is the down, right?
correct.
Okay.
Yep.
I'm gonna hover. I'm not touching the floor. I would like to make sure that's stated. Near the base of it, in case I need to grab one of them and like get back or run up
Sure.
the stairs or something.
Okay.
Now we'll go with Blackstone. Yeah.
So if when Toby brings a lighter over near the doors where I'm standing, do I see any extra details?
You can see kind of, again, it's difficult to see even with the light now closer. With the dirt and the dust, you can get some very basic outlines of kind of some etchings onto the door, like vines and leaves.
Okay.
But that's about it. It looks more decorative in aspect versus anything else.
For this statue with the running, what was this, a orc, a dwarf?
An orc running from a basilisk. Yes.
Is this one of those, I don't know what kind of role this is, but one of those, is this an actual thing or is this a warning?
I mean, you can roll an investigation.
I would like to roll an
Okay.
investigation. That might be bad. Let's see. It is an 11.
11. From what you can tell, it just looks like a statue. Doesn't look like there's anything else important or special about it.
Perhaps I'll need to study this later.
Okay. Shall we go up then?
No harm in it, I suppose.
Okay. I'll race you. And I go.
I head back to the group and I'm like quiet, but also like speaking out loud. I don't think there aren't any immediate dangers up here. I am curious about that statue in the center of the room. But other than that, if
Yeah.
we wanted to take a rest or if we needed to head back to town, this would probably be an optimal time.
I suppose the question is, what's more dangerous?
Blackstone like looks at Diodora.
This is actually me out of character real quick. The statue with the basilisk, are basilisks like native to this area? Can I roll to see if I know that? Or do I already know that?
You would already know that. You've encountered some already in the Genora wetlands, so it's not...
Yeah.
They seem to favor more of the kind of swampy ruins, things like that. So it's not out of place, so to speak, you know?
Okay. I was just... The reason why I'm asking is
Sure.
because in Theodora's head, it is interesting that the statue is here. When we first encountered Weldor, he had been petrified by a basilisk.
Correct.
And so that's why I was asking if they're like native or if there's maybe... I mean, it could still be something nefarious going on, but I don't think this is a coincidence. And Theodora doesn't think it's a coincidence either.
Sure.
So...
No, I think that's very fair.
So she'll look. She's kind of musing this. I don't know if she's gonna say it out loud just yet because it's not like a fully formed thought. But she will sort of look to Weldor and Toby having been around when they cast so many spells, and just say, "I don't know how the two of you are feeling."
Well, on the tired side, if I'm being honest.
Yeah. I'm a little bit tired. I've used a lot of my resources too.
So I don't think it's a good idea for us to go looking for bedrooms down here when we don't even know what's down here. It could be that there is a basilisk down here and that statue is a warning, or it could be something worse. Maybe they're keeping basilisks down here. Either way, I don't really know, but I think if the two of you need rest, then we should get you rest before continuing.
Good point.
Yes, I'm operating on the assumption that he knows we're coming. After all, he does known me quite well, and he knows that I would absolutely go after him. So whether that is a forewarning or not, I don't even know if it's relevant at this point, to be honest.
You know,
But,
Lord, this is the second time I've seen you meet some kind of influential figure who seems to be, I guess, somewhat at odds with you. I'm not sure what is happening here. It sounds like it would make a very interesting story to hear one day.
I'm sure it will.
Right. So let's go back to the top then.
Yes. Maybe we can head into Felk.
Or we can just set up camp like outside the. Is this a temple? Ruins? Like
It's like a grave, like it's
a
ruins, but
graveyard?
we're in like a tomb.
Yeah.
Oh, the tomb? Okay.
So above, just to remind, because I know it's been a week, there was this kind of larger kind of stone coming from the earth, which is what you all entered to come into this space. There was several stones that were set up, kind of like reminiscent of Stonehenge in terms of their placements. So it's up to you in terms of what you want to do.
I
Okay.
don't know if camping outside is a good idea either, because there are those flowers that aren't that far
Precisely.
away. And we would have,
Yeah.
I mean, either way, it seems like we're going to get into a battle. So our best bet would be to just go back to Felk.
I
Okay.
agree.
Let's go back to Felt then. Felt.
All right.
Go back to hell.
Okay. Who is trying to lift because the door's shut behind you, so who is lifting that? Yes, April.
Quick question, DM. How far is Felk from here?
It was not far. You traveled maybe a half hour, 45 minutes.
Okay, just making sure. Like, let's go to Felk 4 hours later.
Nope. It was about 45 minutes
Okay, cool.
back along
Yeah.
the path.
So yeah, it would make sense to go back and not camp outside. Cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
I can try to push the doors open.
Okay. Why don't you make a strength check for me, please?
And I'll that's guidance on Deodora.
Okay, that's a D4, right?
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
This might be something to remember. I do not recall closing this door when we came in here.
I think it just fell closed.
Or it's automatic. Like on a spring. Find out in a minute.
You said strength. Can I use athletics?
Unfortunately,
Proficient
no,
on
because you're literally
tombstones.
pushing something. Unfortunately, I wanted to.
You push
but-
in athletics football. You push people to block them. Hello.
Deodora's definitely a linebacker.
Well, let me get my guidance because I did not roll that well.
Okay.
Oh, this is where I don't have any D4s out, so I have to roll.
Oh.
On here.
I can roll for you if you need me to.
No, it's good. I got. So that's a. I did it.
Oh, cool,
well.
cool,
Like
cool,
total,
cool,
it's
cool.
a total is an 8.
Nice.
That's why I wanted to use that. Or I'm sorry, total's a 10. 10.
Okay. Okay.
That's why I want to use athletics because my
Yeah.
athletics is higher.
Does it work?
Does it work?
If I see Deodora, since I can see Deodora trying to open the door, can I help with opening the door? Like,
How
can I,
will you- how will you
can I
be
assist her
assisting?
in trying to push the door open?
Sure. How will you be? Will you be helping to push?
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
I crit
Um,
with my.
Hey.
Wait, which kind of crit was it? The good one or the bad one?
No,
the
it's
good
nat
one?
20. Nat 20.
Okay.
Oh, hell yeah.
Okay.
I fucking destroy the door.
What's the total though?
24.
24. Okay. You find that as you're pushing against it, there seems to be a mechanism that is holding it in place.
Like somebody put like a bar across it or something.
Perhaps. It's hard to tell, at least on your end. You can't see what that mechanism might be.
See, let me use my athletics because I get a +7. That
I'm
would be
sorry,
27.
Okay.
Athletics is strength.
So you do see the door giving slightly, but it's still not opening.
Do we see the mechanism?
It's not on. You can't see it on this side. No.
Okay. Let
As
me
I'm
see if
pushing-
this thing.
It's just one door, or is it like
It was 2.
like storm cellar door? It's not like a storm
Yeah.
cellar.
Yes.
Can I like as I'm opening the door and I'm having help from Blackstone?
Yes.
Can I could see outside. I could see a little bit through.
You can see creaks. Yes.
Can I just oh no, I'm not shifted. Fuck.
Okay.
Can I have
If there's
Okay, can I
if-
have Sparky blink out there to see what's going on?
Wait, hold on. How big of a space do I need to Misty Step?
I think you just need to be able to see.
Yeah. You just need to be able to see. Oh Lord.
Yeah,
I might. If you can get that open, I can Misty Step through it, I think.
nice.
I think it's open enough where there's cracks so you can
Or sorry,
see that there's something
it's Step of the Wind.
Step of the Wind is just gives
I
you
don't have that.
That's-
I wrong
Step of the Wind.
character. Who this?
yeah.
Okay,
Step
well,
of-
I mean, because there's
yeah.
a crack in there, I'm gonna take out a dagger and try to wedge it in the crack that she just did.
Okay. By doing that, you can see with this movement, it seems like there's been an added weight to this door. You see that there are several vines that are now kind of drooped over top of this door.
Hmm.
Yes,
Okay.
Robo.
Okay, so as I see everybody doing, is this like a big? Is this hallway that we're going down? Is it like big enough for? It's not big. Is it? How big is it?
So you don't see the hallway. All you see currently is just this room and the double doors
those-
and the statue. That's it.
Okay.
Yep.
Sorry.
All right. So I think this is a mighty fine time for me to try this out. So let me help with the door. And as I go with I just put my hand in the door,
Mhm.
and it magically changes into a giant ape hand. And I say, wild shape myself into an ape. And I try to just push the thing out.
Okay. Make another strength check.
Fucking
Guidance.
Donkey Kong over here. Fucking Donkey
Uh,
Kong country, bitch.
Wait, what is this? What am I rolling?
Strength check.
Just strength check or
Mhm.
And add a D4.
And add a d4.
strength check and add a d4. Plus
1d4.
What is my strength? Oh, okay. Oh,
Yeah,
and
it's a
d4. 26.
26. Okay. You. April. You are pushing on the door. But before I get to that, April, what was it that you wanted to do?
Sorry, that sounded way more passive aggressive. No, I was while they're pushing on the door and making a bunch of noise, I would like to fly over to the other door
Mhm.
and just kind of listen to make sure I don't hear anything coming
Make a perception check.
Oh, that's a good
while we're
boy.
making noise.
I was just about to think. I was just thinking that.
16.
No noise.
Okay, I'm just gonna kind of flutter there.
Sure. Yep, there's no noise. It's as silent as a tomb. As
Nice.
Toby,
Nice.
you are
Nice.
No,
Nice.
no.
Boo.
Boo.
Toby,
Boo.
you are pushing
Jail.
on this door. And you see the more movement as this is starting to push up. The mechanism is still holding it, but you can hear what sounds like metal bending slightly. What that also happens though is you see the vines that are kind of holding starting to become more alive. They're starting
Yeah.
to move and
Okay.
start to come
Mhm.
into where you are at. So
Son of
I
a-
will need you to make a dexterity save as it is going to lash out at you.
Me?
Yes.
It's Pride Month. Jordan, you can't do that.
I know. I'm gay too. I'm sorry.
This is gay on gay
Yeah,
crime.
what colors is the giant ape, Robo? Like what we wearing any
Is it
flags
the
right now?
ace-
Like
ace flag?
Yeah, it's ace flag,
Hell yeah.
ape,
ace ape.
Oh my
Ace
god,
ape.
ace flag,
Ace ape.
ace, but the tie is like the pride flag.
Yeah.
Yeah.
just the tie. Oh,
Because in my head it is donkey.
100%.
Sorry.
Hell yeah.
And the little tufts are frosted because obviously.
Yeah.
Dex
Oh,
saving throw.
he's-
Yes, you are making a
Funky
dex
Kong.
savings throw.
This is just I don't know. Okay, 18.
18. You are just able to kind of shift your body out of the way as you see this large, it almost looks like a tentacle of a vine just trying to wrap around the hand that was just holding the door in place. You see the door kind of shift back onto the knife that Blackstone put into the door to hold it up partially.
Can I try to stab that vine?
Sure. If
With
you want to make an
one
attack
of-
roll, yeah.
Sure, I do. Let's make one.
You thought the path was one thing.
Okay.
Not me this time.
That is an
Right.
18 to hit.
18 does hit.
Nice.
I am going to try to stab this with one of my spirit arrows.
Okay. All
Roll
right.
that for you.
Go ahead and roll damage.
Damage. I guess it should be. Is it that? I guess it is.
You get sneak attack.
You do get sneak attack.
Totes.
Okay.
Yes. Sneak attack these vines.
This is.
And Oria, you are still not hearing any noise at the door. Nothing.
Okay. That is. That's 14.
14. All right. Your dagger strikes down. I imagine like the tentacle is just kind of moved to go to where Toby was, and you just come slashing through the air, planting that arrow in. You see a bit of that spiritual energy coming out of the vine, and it kind of wriggling in the air in pain as another vine starts to snake its way down from the little crevice in the door. You can see at this point there are multiple of these vines that are kind of seemingly almost creating a small canopy over the door itself. Yes, fair.
My question is, when the vine reached out to Toby, do you consider that to be, was that an attack or it was just trying to grab him?
It was just trying to grab.
Okay.
So I guess here's the question, because like I'm comparing the reaction of this plant to cheesecake, right? So, right?
Mm-hmm.
Does this plant wither, or is it one of those?
Nope,
we
it's
know that
still
there are
up.
there are definitely magic shenanigans going on here because of how it responded to this arrow.
It could. It's hard to tell because you can't see where like the rest of these vines are attached, if it's just a singular vine or if it's perhaps attached to something else. You don't know. So it's your observation is inconclusive when it comes to that.
Okay.
So what are y'all doing?
Okay. I am going to, because how big would you say the crack is?
Not super big. Like your dagger is literally the only thing that's keeping it up at this point, and it's this small crevice. You can see the afternoon sun is still out, but you know there are a lot of these vines are obscuring a lot of the view of outside.
Well, Deodora, wait. Oh, Oria must have went to go scout. Okay. Is your puppy with us?
Sparky's always with us.
Okay. Well, maybe Sparky can help us find out what's going on outside, as both of them have dimension traversing capabilities.
Yeah, can I sense there is, like, we can kind of see through these
Sure.
vines, can Sparky like pop out, see what's going on, and then pop back in?
Okay. Yeah. So you place Sparky kind of through the crevice, and he kind of wiggles his way through the vines.
Oh, I meant, can he blink out and then blink back in? That's
Oh,
what
okay. Got it. Sure. You get him in line of sight to see something, and he pops through. And after a short moment, you hear a couple yips, and he quickly pops back.
Is he okay?
He is fine. He is unharmed because we're not going to harm. I'm not going to harm Sparky. We don't harm animals. That is a line for all of us here. So
even though I fully have plans to put him in combat
for
but
sure,
he's still,
and
he
that's
has plot
different.
armor.
Hey.
He's still a baby right now, so yeah, no.
Just a baby.
He's shaking slightly, like quivering. He doesn't look harmed.
Oh, buddy.
Just not happy. He's kind of cowering right by your legs as he
Oh.
pops back, Deodora.
Oh, I mean, I'll pick him up.
He is
and like comfort
shaking
him.
like a leaf, yeah.
And I'll we've been working on this connection that we have, so I'll ask him like, what did you see?
And instead, in your mind, what pops up in kind of a sepia kind of tone, you see the door, and on top of it is this bell-shaped kind of plant with these large vines that are just sitting on this thing. What's more is also you can see that several of the kind of where the bell itself is, you can see that there are several deceased heads are kind of just sitting there. This seems to be some kind of corpse flower of sorts that is just kind of set up camp properly onto the door.
First of all, you really put a victory bell on top of the fucking door.
Right?
Pokemon shit.
Right?
This is some Pokemon shit. Let me get my fucking great ball.
Do we got enough badges to train? Okay. Never mind.
Once again,
Sorry.
court, jail.
Yep. Ooh, I can do it now. Do me court. Yeah.
Confinement.
So I'm just
So
that's what you're able to see, Deodora,
Okay.
through that connection.
I will relate this to my companions and say, I think we're, unless there's something that one of you guys can do, and I'm pointing to like everybody who does magic, I think we might be stuck down here.
Either that or we
that's
Wait.
nothing I can do.
we might be able to summon help. I think.
Well, no more speculation around if he knows we're here or not for sure then.
So, Weldor, you have friends back in Felk, right?
I do.
Do you know where they would be right about now?
I would.
Okay. If that's something that you can describe, I have an idea. It's probably been about a week since the last time we tried this out, but this time we can remember to send a message.
All right. Let's see. Look, did you want to do something fair?
No, I just had a question. Do you have to know where they are? Because we did meet those twins, and couldn't you just connect with them?
Guess it depends on what
Yeah.
the spell that's being cast here, or
So, player knowledge for a second.
yeah.
So, like, way back with Ursula, we went to try to establish a spiritual connection between where we were and where Deidre was.
Right. Yeah.
But that's because I knew at that time about what her habits are and where she would be at that time of day. I'm thinking we might be able to try
Gotcha.
the same thing here because we don't have, as far as I know, like magic to rely on for teleportation or sending. But we might be able to do that.
Before we actually do that, there's something I might be able to do. But if I do, I'll go outside. And
Wait, are you still a giant ape right now?
oh, that's right. So I'm explaining all
I was like,
this.
wait a
And I
minute.
go,
What? Oh my god, what's that in the corner? Is that a race car?
Toby, you're gonna have to help me out, buddy. I did
Um,
not.
And like he's trying to
use
look
it.
like, how can I'm not?
I use telepathy to to try to, because I think you retain mental stats at least when you're transformed. So I use telepathy to like
It's not fun
just
anymore.
you see black stone, but then you see like a background of like question marks because no one can understand what you're talking about over
Oh.
here.
Yeah, I just turned back to Toby. My apologies. I thought I had something. Okay. So I can go outside and actually try to. Oh, holy shit! It's gonna be tough. I can go outside, and I could try to take out. Okay, so I'll just turn to Diodora. Did you say that this thing is out directly outside this door, trying to hold us?
It's basically sitting on top of the door.
Yeah, I could just go outside and try to take care of this creature, but I'm not gonna hold out for long if I do.
Question. Oh, sorry. I just have a quick question. Out of character. What Sparky relayed to me, does it look like one of the other flowers that was like on the other side of the field?
No.
No, this
No.
is something completely
The
different.
ones that you had seen previously literally looked like the ones that had attacked Vibram where
Okay.
it transformed. This looks like some other creation that you have not seen yet.
We've not encountered it at all.
No.
Okay.
Okay.
Whoever wants to go first.
Oh, if I hear Toby talking about going out, I don't know if you should be going out there by yourself. Especially if you're not at full speed and no one else can go out there with you.
Yeah.
Unless you're going to just go. If you leave and just keep going and go straight to the city, maybe you could bring back people, but I don't feel comfortable with you going out there and stopping and trying to fight the thing and then trying to open the door.
Yes,
I agree.
That's actually a good point, and I point myself to I was gonna say Sin, but
Blackstone.
yeah, and I was like, I could be bait for this creature to come at me.
No,
Hear this?
that's
We
a bad
can't-
idea. I know we're trying to talk to. I'm going to interrupt. That's a bad idea.
I don't think we can hear that.
Yeah, I think I think it was
Yells
this to
that.
Blackstone.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I feel that this is a noble intention, but I do not think it is a good idea.
Good point. Then let's just go down and try to find a spot where we can actually rest and keep watch during our rest. Because we're probably not going to go.
Oh, sorry. Go on, Robo. Finish.
I'm good.
Or we could just rest in this room. We could barricade that door or put something in front of it, and we know what's on the other side of that door, but we know this room is safe. So why don't we just stay in this room, rest in shifts, and then proceed through?
Well, the creature outside doesn't seem very interested in coming inside at this moment.
Well, yes, that's why I'm not worried about that side of the door.
Just keep it
I'm
inside.
just worried about
or
this
in.
door as I point at the one towards in.
All right. But let's do that.
All right.
And if you're very concerned, Blackstone, you and I, one of us could go in and do a quick scan of like the immediate area on the other side of the door. If you're worried, but we have a bunch of stuff, and I feel like with all our ropes, we could just like tie rocks to the ceiling. Or, I don't know, Home Alone this shit.
Yeah, Home Alone.
It's a very big play from where I'm from. They left a fairy alone in the glade by themselves, and two humans come stomping in.
Ah, yes, legendary hero Kevin McAllister.
That's canon. Thanks, April.
You're welcome.
Well, if we're
Waldor
going
will. Waldor will just kind of look around. If you wouldn't mind, if we are going to make that move, I'd like to take last watch so I can get up a bit early and get some sustenance before we get moving.
That reminds me. And I just like reach out, and what you see me pull out are like rations. I don't really have a need for these.
All right.
You all might, maybe.
Yep.
Definitely.
So there, everybody has like trail rations.
Yay!
All right, let's set up watch. Who's taking first watch?
Oh wow, you already set up your bedroll.
Oh yeah, big time.
Oh, you talked a long time, and I just kind of assumed you were gonna be stuck in here.
He kind of smiles at you. You've actually got pretty good intuition.
I will take first watch because I'm pretty good right now.
Okay. Quick question. Blackstone, you had left your dagger kind of sheathed into the door. Are you going to take that or leave it? You take it?
I'm going to remove it.
Okay,
because
cool.
why leave a perfectly good dagger here?
Valid. All right.
I'm also going to cast mending on it because I'm pretty sure being stuck in the rocks and things has done weird things to bend the blade. It's not going to cut the way I wanted to.
Sure. Okay. So, Ori, I know you mentioned you wanted to take first watch. Is anyone joining you?
You guys
I
can sleep
join.
okay, because I also have the beans, so that way
True.
if we needed it, if more people needed sleep.
It's up to you.
The beans.
The little display star beast.
I was like, we have cans of beans? What the fuck is
Yes, ho, I'm here.
I mean,
Okay.
Waldor does, but yeah.
I mean, I think it's just the spellcasters who are feeling it right now, because I'm fine. So,
Sure.
like,
Okay, then yeah, we'll take first watch.
Okay.
I have a question about the door on the other side, not the door with the plant, but the door
The other
leading
one.
further in.
Mhm.
It's closed right now.
Correct.
What is the setup of this door? Like, is it like or specifically,
It's a
what's the setup of
pull.
like the handle? So it's like two.
Yeah, there's two indentations basically in the door.
Okay.
If you were to place your hands in, like, they seem to be carved out on the inside, so you could kind of pull.
Okay. Then never mind. I was gonna like put something through the doorknob, through the
Sure.
handles, if I could, to like make sure that somebody couldn't open it from the other side. But
I
think
I'll repeat, because now that you've kind of moved closer to that door, there's no sound, nothing. So
I don't think that means anything to Deodora
Sure.
because she knows like people like Sin or people like Blackstone, Sin too probably.
I know we're all
people
saying
like
sin
Blackstone
today.
can be very like quiet and like
Sure.
untraceable, and like I mean
There's no other
spells,
sense
like,
or
pass
anything
without
coming through
trace.
that door either, just to cover that.
I think even still, when Deodora sets out her stuff, she's gonna set out her bedroll and stuff like in front of that door. So like even when she's on watch, she's gonna have her back to it.
Sure.
So that way, if it opens, like if anything happens, she will be like kind of the first
Sure.
line of defense.
All right. Okay. Yes. Oria.
Well, I had something to lean into that.
Sure.
Because now that I realize, so we pull it, so I mean, if anyone was to come in, they would have to push in.
Mm-hmm.
We could put something in front of it that's heavy, like say a dwarf statue.
Orc.
Oh, I thought it was a dwarf.
It's
No.
a
The
dwarf.
orc
It's
statue is a
half,
lot heavier than a dwarf
It's a
statue.
half-
I'm
it's a
like,
half-
maybe move a dwarf statue.
It's half orc, half dwarf. Thank you so much.
Orc.
If we had anything big, we could put in front of the door or heavy. Oh, wait. Who's smart?
I'm smart.
Hey, Cal,
Alright.
you around?
In game.
I'm all right.
Shit. Well,
Stat wise, I'm also pretty smart.
because can't we use leverage? If I use my staff, I can, because it extends. I could shove it on at least one side, and it would kind of shove into place and stop anyone from pushing
Oh.
at least one door.
I don't feel like you need intelligence for that.
Yeah, I don't know why I asked who was smart. I knew
But
how to do that.
also, here's my thing, because what I was gonna do, I was gonna take that axe that I stole from Big Beefy like way long ago, and
You
like
put that on the other
do it
door,
so I
yeah.
could like put it on the other door instead,
So-
because it
Perfect.
extends as well, I think.
So I'm gonna
Yeah.
say this because this is our game, right? I don't think you all having intelligence at a certain point would mean that you would know that or not. Do you think Aurea and Deodora would know that that is a possibility, perhaps in previous antics you've done or things like
Yeah.
that?
Aurea lived in a dorm. She knows how to block a door.
So then, yeah, I would say let's do it. Like, don't
Amazing.
let that number.
Theodora
into-
also lifted a door.
You
yeah,
did.
we know how to block a door.
Sure.
Yeah.
Then I would say let's go for it.
Okay.
Again, I'm not going to tie that to a number. It doesn't make sense to me. Your experiences are your experiences. So let's do that.
Damn right.
I'm
So
totally
yeah,
fine with
we'll,
that.
we'll put both of them. We'll put 2 weapons on each side. So if anyone does push in,
Okay.
it will be a lot harder.
Okay. Perfect. Why don't you do a I'm trying to think of the correct word. Why don't you do like a dex check, just because you're placing
I
it
can
kind
do
of
that.
carefully. You might have to maneuver a little bit.
Mhm.
Yes, if you want to use acrobatics in this case, then Deodora, I would allow.
Oh, now we can
Oh,
use
I'll use
acrobatics.
No, I wanted athletics.
I'm just-
Athletics.
Okay.
Athletics, then yeah. If you wanted to use athletics, I would allow that.
That's
Also,
a
can we give each
27.
Oh, never mind, because I was
Oh.
gonna say, can we give each other the help action because we're doing it at the same time?
I figured as much, so yes.
Oh, okay. Then I get to roll twice.
Yes. So yeah, let's. I'm
27.
27. Okay.
20 math. 22.
Okay. Both of you think you can hear it kind of wedging just where there's a portion of the stone floor. You can hear there's like a creak as your 2 weapons slide into place, holding that door, preventing it from moving forward. So you're pretty confident it's going to hold. Yes, I love this idea. This is fantastic. Why don't you both take a point of inspiration? Because I think that's brilliant.
Yay, where's
So I'm going to reward that. Okay. Do any conversations happen before I hand over the watch to Aurea and Deodora?
I would like to take the watch before Weldor's watch.
Okay. So you'll do second watch. We'll cover that in a bit. But anything else before I turn it over to Aurea and Deodora?
No.
All right. Aurea and Deodora, can you please roll a perception check for me, please?
With advantage because Beans is helping.
Yep.
And Sparky.
Yep, I figured as much. Go for it.
Sorry, I dropped stuff.
It's all good. Your excitement.
I got 17.
17. Okay.
Did I roll animal handling? I rolled an animal handling. Sorry, I rolled the wrong thing.
All good.
That's to get Beans to pay
21.
attention.
21. Okay. As you can feel the temperature dropping as night settles in around all of you, and you see Weldor starting to head to sleep, Blackstone heading into their kind of stasis, and Toby heading to sleep.
Toby's passed.
You can hear movement above you as the vines are kind of, you're assuming that whatever is holding the door is probably moving about a little bit now that night has kind of fallen. But other than that, there's nothing else occurs on your watch.
I would spend part of the watch investigating these statues more, or checking these statues out to see if there's anything.
I wanted to do the same thing.
Okay.
Maybe inciting or perceiving these statues. Maybe not investigating them. Not investigating them.
Okay, so which are you doing? Are you perceiving them or are you investigating them?
I have a much better perception than investigation.
It's up to you.
Deodora, what were you gonna do to him?
Oh, I was literally gonna like the exact same. I was gonna do like a perception check or something on them.
Okay.
Or something. I'm not sure what, but like I literally was having the same thought as you at the same time. I was like, I want to look at these fucking statues.
Like we got our weapons and they're like, okay, now we can loot the room. And,
Sure, sure,
Theodora and Aurea are like, we flanked the statues that are going past, and like we pass each other. Like, did you see this? Did you see that? Did you see this?
Full Scooby-Doo
So-
vibes.
Sure,
Want to
sure.
perception check it, and I'll help you.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
What's that look for? DM.
I was like, well, a perception check wouldn't really work with this because you've already perceived it. It's there, kind of
And
thing.
do you want to do the investigation? I have a
Investigation.
+1 investigation.
I don't have anything to investigation, so you should
I'll
probably do
roll it. Okay.
Sorry. That's why I was trying to play with. Okay, could I make this work with perception? But like, you all know it's there. You all know it's there. That's it. So
13.
13. Okay. Yeah, it looks like a basilisk statue. The orc looks like they're wearing clothes that don't seem to be from this time period. Probably back a few decades, if anything. There is a slight glimmer in the eyes of the basilisk, but that's all you're able to tell at this immediate moment.
Touch the glimmer.
I kind of want to. I
Just
want to
poke
check
it in
out
the
that.
eyes like Three Stooges style. Just boop.
Boop.
Oh man,
What
is
you
it
gonna
like?
do?
Oh, I feel like if we poke the basilisk in the shiny part, and everyone's asleep, it's gonna end bad. I think we should wait until everyone is fully recovered before we do this.
Okay.
Character growth.
Okay.
Not
But I
Aurea,
think-
April. April's character growth.
I am
April's
gripping
character growth.
my armrest so hard right now.
Valid. Okay.
I think Ori would note it and point it to Theodora, and we talk about it. But I think, yeah. Also, it might make a lot of noise. And I don't want to wake anybody up if
Okay.
it is.
That's valid.
The glimmer's just in the bath. There's like no
Nothing
like
else. Just their eyes.
No. Okay. And nothing in the orc statue either. That's might be glimmering.
Nope.
Hmm.
This is magic. We might want one of the magic people.
Yeah, probably. It is curious. I do think it's something though. This is the new path. This is the path of this session. Watch. It's nothing.
And I think that's what we do. We spend the rest of the day holding each other back from trying to figure out what's in it. What are you looking at? Go back there.
I'm like fully sitting on Aurea because I know that she's not strong.
Sure. Okay. The rest of your watch is uneventful. You do remember Blackstone mentioning wanting to be on for second watch.
Yeah, I jiggle the mouse that wakes him up.
Corbin.
Oh my god.
Yes.
You like poke him and a
password.
fan like comes
Take
to
him
smack
out of-
your hand. Like,
Yeah,
as
I
soon
take
as
him out
the-
of. I take Blackstone out of sleep mode. Just come on. Come on, I have to get logged in right now. Come on.
Blackstone, you're
I
coming
need to
out of
clock in.
stasis just as you see Corbin with a very small fan kind of hit Deodora's hand after poking him awake. Not looking too happy.
How can I be of service?
Oh no, he boot too far back.
Not Windows 95, no!
Oh shit!
It's the last backup of
That's
Blackstone.
no good configuration.
Oh
So
fuck!
waking up. Shit, Cal has
Here,
the
I
USB
quit.
drive.
Windows restore.
No, that is
The
too
Windows
real.
rest-
Too
The
real,
Windows
stupid
Restore is
fantasy.
corrupted. It doesn't work.
Yeah, and Cal has the USB drive. We're screwed.
No!
Fuck.
Boot from USB,
Um,
good times.
Oh,
I think.
Sorry. That is my waking voice. My apologies.
No,
That's okay. I think like when Corbin hits me in the hand with the fan, I kind of like growl at him a little bit, like I will eat you. It's your watch now, Blackstone.
Ah, thank you.
Do you mind? Because you have some magic, so do you mind maybe looking over the statue? We noticed the eyes of the basilisk are like well, Aurea noticed, and then I confirmed that this happened. They're glimmering, and nothing else seems to be of that material.
We didn't want to try to mess with it in case it was magic or it would wake everybody up.
Yeah. It was hard.
Okay.
It was hard not to.
Can I do an inspection to see if they're alive or if they're just made out of shiny material?
So you're going to do an investigation check?
Yep.
Okay.
Do a wee investigation.
All right.
That investigation is still lower than my passive investigation. It is a 14.
Okay. Looks shiny. Somewhat like a light green in nature. Like almost like a lime green in comparison. But looks like something's in their eyes. That's all you're able to tell with the investigation. It's a little bit difficult.
Okay. Well, I'll try to keep an eye on it, and if it wakes up or something along those lines, then I will alert you.
Okay.
Yeah, and I think Aurea and Deuter go to sleep.
All right.
Can I just
Okay.
ask how's this Blackstone sleep? They just lay still, or they just like power down and like light?
No, they pick like a really comfortable position to like sit in and just fall asleep right there, or go into stasis because they don't sleep. They're aware of things.
Okay, so you just basically turn off.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Or, I guess, for lack of kind of go into like a suspension mode. So while I'm asleep, I can see things and hear things, but I can't interact with or respond to them.
okay. Okay. Nice.
Okay. Blackstone, are you going to do the watch yourself, or are you going to have someone join you?
I think the only person who could join me has the watch right after me.
Okay.
So it's just going to be me hanging out with Corbin. And
Okay.
I'm going to do a sweep of the perimeter.
All right. Go ahead and roll a perception check for me, please.
Perception is a 19.
Okay. Here's some movement from up above. Every now and then you hear kind of Corbin skittering around, kind of also trying to do a search, but also you see him very carefully trying to pick around and going on more of the stone kind of areas versus the dirt. He's being very careful, not wanting to dirty himself, but still is trying to help where he can. Your watch goes by, nothing happens.
So after watching for a while, when I get to the end of my watch, I'm going to take a moment to have like a bit of meditation because I am awake and by myself and relatively undisturbed and nothing bad has happened. No one's come out of the wood to rob us or anything like that while I was talking to sheep. So, I'm going to see if I can will myself to go somewhere. And try to find Carmen.
Okay. How are you doing this?
Well, I mean, as far as I've been able to observe how the other people do it, I'm just going to pick a place to sit down, kind of comfortable, and just kind of like posture myself upright, and then I don't know, the last time this thing happened, I guess it was more like of an astral projection type of thing, but going to try to, I feel like the best way to say it is try to scan my brain and see if I can find the door that I ran into.
Why don't you make a spirit check for me, please?
Oh my. Put this on here. I'm gonna do that. Wow, okay. I absolutely use an inspiration die for this.
Okay.
So that is a total of 20.
20. It takes a few moments. You're kind of walking through your mind, but are you sure it's your mind, or is this perhaps your soul? Around you are staircases and rooms that are kind of dustied and nonsensical. It looks like a house that was kind of taken in a tornado and shook and then dropped, as pieces of it don't necessarily make sense. But after a moment, you do hear the sound of a bell and can feel a presence behind you, faintly. There's this light that starts to emit from behind you as well.
I turn toward the light.
You turn and you see the spectral image of this half-elven woman, wearing a long golden dress, hair's braided, ebony of skin. She's got gold markings and wearing a golden, almost like a masquerade mask, around her features. But you can see, even then, like, it's hard to see the whites of her eyes, but you can see that there's almost like a slight transparency. You can see the presence of green. And she has kind of a half smile as she stares at you. Rory.
Milady.
You traveled far from home, I see.
Well, I suppose after a manner of speaking.
What is
Well,
it?
I didn't nearly die this time, so that's good.
That's definitely good.
But my apologies. I don't recall you as well as I would like to. And, well, there's a thing that you're guarding, and I am afraid that not knowing might put my friends in danger.
What makes you say that?
Well, there is something going on in the world. I am uncertain of what its nature is, except that it is sinister. It has impacted the world beyond the veil and is eating souls. It is stealing lives from the people of this world well before their time, and it involves a number of people being distorted into creatures, creatures that they shouldn't. It takes life in ways that life shouldn't be taken.
She just kind of nods, listening.
And, well, aside from that, apparently, according to a certain, I'm not sure how to describe her. I suppose some people might call her an enchantress or a sorceress or a witch. There is another soul dwelling within my circuits, which is also a thing I will need to understand. So, enlighten me if you would not mind.
Are you sure you're ready? Once you
No.
go through this door and you kind of see she's speaking, but her voice is echoing, very similar to yours. And behind her, you can see that this kind of spectral door has manifested as well. Once you go through those doors, you'll begin your journey. But are you sure you're ready?
I do not know if I am ready, but I do know that I am not prey, and I suppose that will have to do.
You'll have to be.
Thank you for doing what you could to protect me, and hopefully now I'll be able to protect other people.
You already have. And she kind of smiles for a moment, and you see behind her the door kind of elongating itself. And she kind of stands to the side. You can see that there's an overwhelming sadness, but also she's proud, maybe a bit fearful for what lies ahead. The doors
Would
are
you like to
open
come?
for you.
Would you like to come with me?
I'll be there every step of the way.
Blackstone gives like a slight nod of understanding,
Mm-hmm.
and then walks through the door.
The room, your vision, everything goes white for a moment. And you find yourself standing in a library. Books as far as the eye can see. In the center of this large room, the bookshelves, everything is wooden. But there's a small platform that's made of gold. And it has this stand with what appears to be golden wings, holding a book. And you can feel Carmen has walked through this door and is with you as well.
Mm-hmm.
And she's kind of giving a slight smile, but looking around. Parts of this seem very familiar to you.
I walk toward the thing that feels the most familiar.
Okay. Which would that be then?
I suppose what's in the library.
Books, bookshelves that stand. You can see vines of flowers and plant life, vegetation, kind of outlining aspects of it. You can see that these bookshelves too, of course, have been kind of alphabetized, but there's languages from all over. Some that are known, some that aren't.
I pick up one of the books with one of the lesser known languages on it.
Okay. Go ahead and roll a history check and add your spirit points, your spirit check as well to it.
Okay. So you want me to do a spirit check?
Mm-hmm. But you're going to add your history as well.
Okay. Wait, I rolled those separately. I don't know which one I should have done.
That's fine.
So is it a roll plus spirit plus history?
Yes.
Okay. That is a total of 22.
Okay. You open up this book. And at first it just looks like a series of symbols and pictures. Indentations of ink. And Carmen at that moment kind of reaches forward and lightly places her hand on your shoulder. Rory, I think it's time you see this through my eyes. And you see her for a moment. She lifts the masquerade mask, and there's this beam of light. And you see her as she was all those maybe years ago on that hill. And she hands you the mask.
I put the mask on.
Those words and symbols suddenly have meaning. You see Rordir Tave Blackstone on this book. But more than that, it's like aspects of yourselves are starting to unlock. You can hear the gears shifting as everything is in overdrive. And there's a clarity. You can go ahead and add to your sheet on your character sheet. You'll see that there's a language that has been added. That language has a name. It is Felkian. And it is the language that you had seen previously when Aurea was trying to help you in that vision. And we'll say at that moment, as that clarity hits, is when that connection breaks. And you find yourself sitting back within the tomb.
Blackstone watches like the second stretch into minutes, and each of them feel like eternities of time before they go to wake up Weldor.
Okay. The end of your watch
Weldor,
happens.
when I wake you up, I try to tell you, like it is your turn for watch, but it comes out in Felkian.
Huh.
Which I don't know if Weldor knows.
He does not.
So like I'm just waking you up and saying things to you in incomprehensible languages.
I don't know if that was sleep talking or something else, but I gotta be honest, I have no earthly idea what that was. Actually, question, Jordan. I don't understand it, but have I heard it spoken?
No.
That's even more interesting. Okay.
It's just like not knowing exactly what to do at that time. I just kind of gesture at the place that I was taking watch from.
All right. This has a kind of confused look, but doesn't really like follow up really. And he starts taking out like set of knives and these like small like packs, and you start to, even as you're getting ready to go back to stasis or whatnot, you start to smell like the hint of like oats and like berries and like peanut butter on the air.
Oh, I know I've rested for a while during the first shift. It takes a while. Like, it takes about, I would say, halfway through your watch before Blackstone finally goes into stasis.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, your rest is sort of resonated by the hints of quiet chopping and slicing, and you kind of see it's almost like there's like a placemat set before him as he's starting to make and sort of fold in the outline of these small, what appears to be like bars of like oat, peanut butter, and berries, as well as these small like tortillas with like sausage and cheese, and sprinkling and seasoning, things like that. He's in the zone.
Why don't you make a perception check while you're doing your watch?
Okay. So
It's either really good or really bad.
I roll, because I get advantage on these.
You do.
I roll 2 natural 20s.
Nice. You can hear from
That's never happened before to me.
That's fucking
can
amazing.
I'm taking a
here
picture of that.
above you, the noise is starting to die down as this plant is perhaps stopping moving. There's been no noise from beyond the doors that have been barricaded by Theodora and Aurea. Nothing happens on your watch.
As he's continuing to like wrap up the prep for breakfast in the morning. I'm sure you know that we're down here. And I've been waiting decades to confront you. So many different things that I would have said to you. Talk's always been cheap. I don't wish words with you, not much longer. I'm sure that you have plenty that you'd like to say to me, though. But I don't know if you're going to get that opportunity, Belsarian. Hopefully see you soon. And he folds up the tortillas.
There's no response to your proclamations. If anything, you can hear your statements lightly, and just the rumble that is Weldor when he speaks, lightly echoing around the chamber that you're in. But breakfast is made. The rest of your watch has no issue. And as you all awaken, still within this tomb, to start a new day and to see where this is going to go next, I think that's an excellent time for a break. So we're going to take a quick 10-minute break, y'all, and we're going to get back
Can
on.
we hit the button?
Yes, you can hit the long rest button.
Hey!
You can totally do that. Love it. We will be back shortly. Get up, stretch, move around, and we'll see you all shortly. See you in a bit. God, where is it? There it is.
Pick up your gear and open your chests. Throw on your armor and head out on a quest. Hey, hey. It's a brand new day. On the sword coast, your allies will help with blades and bows and magic as well. Hey, hey. Heroes on their way. Fighting together against overwhelming odds. Fighting together in favor of multiple gods. Idle champions of the forgotten realms. Idle champions, adventure never ends. Idle champions, get your wallet there. Idle champions, you will say it again. Idle champions.
Easy to.
I'm bored.
We can go scream at the cat for another hour.
Nah, I'm tired of screaming at the cat.
Shut up with that! Be bored no more with 1985 games. Enjoy their vast variety of products and help bring your tabletop to a whole new level. With easy-to-use dungeon sticky notes. The deck of stories holds prompts and adventure hooks for any setting, and thousands of cutout game pieces with their dungeon craft.
You've come all this way for nothing, fool! The princess is mine! You'll never get away with this, Malachor!
Write everything down in your Hero Notes journal and start your adventure today! Visit the World Wide Web address 1985games.com and find many helpful products such as their Dungeon Craft series, battle maps, deck of stories, miniatures, dungeon notes, and now VHS dice. Again, that's 1985games.com.
I am going to use my move action to calmly walk right out of the door of the house and into the street.
Okay, he's blocking the door frame, so.
Oh, that's fine. Something. Let's just have this moment since they're talking. And be like, excuse me, I'd like to step outside, please.
Roll persuasion? Like.
Oh my god, amazing.
What is happening?
Yeah.
Persuasion, you said?
Yeah.
That is a 19 on persuasion.
Could you elaborate more with Theodora and Oria's relationship, as the bond they share is definitely a special one? This also actually came in from our Patreon. Wanting to know a bit more. And I know we've chatted, there's been some teasing about some things, but spill.
I don't know if I can elaborate without April being on the call, because it's very much her character as well as mine. I will say, just out of character, it's mostly because April and I enjoy playing together, and we're like, let's just be friends. Because it's like, let's just not even beat around the bush now. We're not doing no introduction things. We know each other are fucking ready. And it just sort of made sense at the time. I think we thought about doing it because there were.
welcome back. Hello, everybody. Hope you were able to get up, stretch, do all the things that, hey, us humans need to do as we are going to get back into this. So, if you are just joining us for our second half, the group has found themselves unable to get out of... I know, I literally paused just to wait to hear Robo go
Dodge,
butts, and
out of
then I was
dodge.
very
Bottoms.
sad when it didn't happen. So,
Oh,
all good.
What's question mark?
But question mark. Our group has found themselves unable to exit from this crypt that they find themselves in, deciding instead to take a long rest after barricading the other set of doors leading into further areas of this dungeon. Diodora and Oria had an uneventful watch. We're checking out the basilisk a little bit, the statue. We also had Blackstone had a moment and connected with the spirit that dwells within them, Carmen, and unlocked the ability to read Felkian through this experience, as now a Blackstone begins their journey, as Carmen has called it. Weldor made some proclamations to hopefully Belsarion if they were listening, while breakfast was being prepared. All of you have long rested and now find yourselves within this crypt as the smell of, what was it again, Weldor, that you are cooking?
Oats, peanut butter, some blueberries, and these like granola style bars, as well as sausage and cheese burritos, andouille sausage specifically, to be clear.
All right. All that is before you. The day is yours. What do you do?
so Toby takes out like a bunch of seeds from his pocket and just puts them in front of him, and he starts humming something, and it's like and from above him you can see like a tiny orb. It just starts glowing in front of him and just starts like having what is it called, like runes, druidic runes around it. It starts circling it, and I just I don't know, Toby just looks at it and picks up one of the runes and puts it on the tiny pot, the tiny seed pot, and it blooms like this flower. And he does that with every single one of the flowers. And he takes out his collar. It's not a collar, it's more of a, he has like this feather of an owlbear around his neck, and he takes it out and he puts all the seeds now bloom tiny flowers around the owlbear feather. Just, it takes like 10 minutes or what, and that's how he how he prepares spells for this day.
Nice.
Would anybody like me to, now that I can, would anybody like to check that statue right there?
Not before you have breakfast.
Oh, well,
Oh, okay.
Ori and I did look over it. Yes, last night.
Shiny
okay.
right there.
The eyes are shiny.
Did you have? I forgot you don't have any. You don't have any magical sensing ability.
No.
It was shiny.
It was shiny. Okay.
Half
It's the
burrito
only
in mouth.
it's the only thing on either statues that is different.
Okay, I'll try to check that out. This is wonderful berries, by the way.
You got it. Why don't y'all wrap up breakfast and I'll to try to detect magic from it.
Okay, that's what I was gonna be doing, but okay. God damn it, Jacob.
Yo, breakfast.
Weldor shoves a burrito into Toby's mouth.
Oh, I see them.
Yeah, I would like to have a walkie.
This is very good.
Anyway.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what's happening exactly?
I ritually cast detect magic as I shove a burrito down Toby's throat.
Okay. You can tell that the eyes of the basilisk are magical.
What school?
The school, and this is just me not knowing it. I think it's transmutation. I want to say. That's genuine me. I don't know. So that's not me trying to be coy and like, oh yeah, right away.
Totally.
So.
Well, just tell me the spell, Jordan, and I'll tell you what's going to kill it. Totally kidding.
So.
Fair enough.
That's what you're able to get. Through that as well, you are also able to tell the component that's holding the magic. It looks like these are 2 paradots, like lime green paradots that are in the eyes.
Gotcha. And anything else emanating within 30 feet of the statue?
It. That is literally it.
Okay. Sounds good. I believe it might be transmutation magic. Which could mean if we remove this, it might come alive.
So,
well, I suppose I appreciate curiosity as much as the next one, but it's not impeding progress forward. I don't know if it's wise to even mess with it.
could it be triggered by anything around here?
I don't believe so, but I could be wrong.
Okay, so we just advise that everybody watch their step. Why are you so tiny here? Aww. Okay.
Oh, and once again, you even if because you probably removed it with the long rest, everyone gets 3 temporary hit points again.
Oh.
As well as those bars there. If we short rest within the next, I think it's 12 hours. It could be 12 or 24. You and you spend a hit dice, you get an additional extra 1d8 of hit points on top of that.
Nice. Cool. All right. Shall we travel now? Ben?
I'm ready.
Take
Orient.
my staff out of the door.
I take a big beefy axe outside.
So real quick, before I do that, I would like to make a check to make sure I don't, nothing's leaning against the door about to bust through.
Correct. I
making
won't make
noise.
you roll.
Just-
I won't even make you roll. There's no noise. There's been no change. That's been consistent this entire time.
Then I will remove my staff.
Okay, but if they were leaning against the door, we could easily just they would fall prone and we would all get advantage.
Oh, hey!
Correct. You would have also
Yes, but
gotten
then I
this-
would have prepared an action when we opened the door.
You would have also probably caught a scent of some kind, Theodora. So you're both pretty confident that there's nothing on the other side. Okay.
All right. Oria, Blackstone, you're going in front then?
Indeed.
Okay. And I'll go at the back.
Why are you going at the back?
Just I want to be with y'all.
Well, no,
Close
I was
quietly
gonna
from
put you
behind.
like
You want me in the
I was-
middle?
in between Welder and Deodora.
All right. I'll put myself between y'all.
It's Toby's fantasy anyway. Let's be honest.
Can't confirm nor deny that.
Happy Pride. Okay.
Wild.
Who's opening the doors? And what's the procession order?
It's Aurea, Blackstone.
Going
Blackstone,
first.
then Oreo.
Blackstone, Aurea,
Okay.
Deodora,
me.
Toby.
Well,
Unless Welder, you want to be in the. Where do you want to be, Welder?
I'm happy to be sort of in the latter half. Not necessarily last would be
Okay,
his preference.
I'll be last.
Okay. Yeah.
All
Makes
right.
sense.
Whoever is opening the doors, if you wouldn't mind making a strength check as you're pulling.
Oh wait, I should probably not do that then. So
Teodora opens the door, and then we go first.
Okay,
Yeah.
go
There
ahead
you
and
go.
make a strength check for me, please.
Guidance.
Okay. Thank you. Okay, strength is. Where's my character sheet? Okay, it's 4. Let me run my little guidance.
Strong
18.
one.
Nice. Okay.
18 total.
The doors, you can hear the stone kind of stone colliding with stone as the doors are pulled. It is taking some effort, but you are able to pull them open. And you find before you, if you actually move your characters, before you is a long hallway with 6 kind of smaller hallways branching off of it. The hallway itself has several unlit torches lining the path ahead. Several of the stone floor paths ahead of you are broken in pieces. There is a layer of dust in this entire hallway and along the walls. That is all that is before you.
As we proceed, Waldo's going to cast aid on Aurea, Deodora, and Blackstone.
Okay.
Once again, giving you an additional 5 hit point maximum and 5 current, and the current hit points increase as well.
Okay.
And that lasts for 8 hours, or until removed from you, I suppose.
You said we get 5 temporary or 5 maximum?
5 maximum and
Oh,
current.
nice. Thank you.
Yeah, you still have your 3 temporary hit points on top of that.
I want to sell to this shit. I want to sell to this shit.
Da-na-na-na-na-na-na-na.
All right.
I want to
What do you do?
turn out. It's just light. Okay. Can I use Druidcraft to turn on the torches here?
Sure, I'll
So-
allow it.
It says
Oh.
you instantly light or snuff out a candle, a torch, or a small campfire.
And that's Druidcraft,
Nice.
or is that control frame?
Yeah, that's Druidcraft.
Weird. Okay, sure.
Yeah.
Pretty cool. This is pretty cool.
That's pretty cool. You
You're
know?
so cute.
Druids are pretty cool, you guys.
They are.
I mean, yeah.
They are.
Respect to druids.
I do.
Respect
Yes.
on Druid name.
So there are 3 kind of torches that are basically in the center points in between. So there's one here, one here. There's one here, one here, one here, one here. So the hallway is now fully lit.
Okay, since I have my produce flame, it just instantly like a flame goes to each of the torches.
Yep. The hallway is lit.
Did anything happen?
Nope.
A shrine? No? Okay.
You now have a very well lit hallway. But that's about it.
Okay. Cool. And these are the oops. Sorry.
It's all good. So there's kind of these small outcroppings with doors. Yeah. So currently where you're standing, there's a door on your left and there's a door on your right.
Weldor will kind of look at everybody. It is possible that some of people from Vibrant are still down here.
Sure.
Likely not as they were, given what we've encountered before. In my mind, it might make sense to clear things. Perhaps not that I recommend splitting everybody up, but we could go these two doors and open them at the same time. And if one of us gets in trouble, the others will be on the other side here. What do you think?
Sounds like a plan.
It sounds reasonable.
Question, DM. You said that this hallway is dusty,
Yes.
and there's no footprints.
Nope.
And we don't and Diodora doesn't smell anything,
There's still that
anything at all.
ever present kind of smell of rot and decay.
Yeah.
A little bit of a kind of vinegar, but it's very faint. But it's not coming from the immediate area.
Where's there dust in the other room?
In the other room? Yeah, there was dust.
But no footprints?
No footprints.
When we first went in there.
Correct.
There's something there, but I don't know. I'm still thinking about the basilisk with the eyes.
No, that's valid.
I think Diodora will say it's strange that there are no footprints, even though we know that he came through here.
Could have flown. You're muted, April.
Could have. No, I think she was just going. She's not. I don't think she's muted.
Could have been the mic.
I think she's having.
No?
There we go.
Hello.
Okay. Oh, what I said is I kind of fly there and just kind of point down below me, and there's no
Exactly.
footprints.
Yeah, he was looking at you when he said it.
Because I'm not touching the ground.
There's no smell either. I mean, he can fly, but could the people that he took from Vibrant fly? Because for what
Could've
we know,
also-
they ran off on their own.
Right.
They could have also had far more time to hide their tracks than we could have. They could have been sweeping
as
back
well
and forth
as
all
weeks
night.
ago.
But if they were sweeping, yeah, that's true. It was weeks ago. I don't know. It
And then
just feels
many magical ways to
strange.
hide yourself.
I wouldn't know.
Um,
I think your plan to open the doors is good. But everybody be cautious.
I'll go to the right. Hopefully someone else, because Toby has his -2 in strength.
I will go with Toby.
Waldo's going to stay kind of in the middle, and he's going to hold Sacred Flame as this divine energy sort of held in his palm, just waiting to see what happens.
All right.
Right in the middle here.
Okay.
Everybody on 3? Like on 3? Actually 3? And
Right.
then we open it?
Who's opening the door on the left?
Sorry, wait.
Can't hear you.
Are we opening all the doors at the same time?
Oh, you're
So,
delayed.
you were out
there are
of
like
sync.
6.
One
Okay,
second.
there are 6 pairs of
Hang
doors.
on 1 second, son.
Okay.
April, can you chat again? You were out of sync the last one.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
you're
the
out
only
of
way to
sync.
get out of it is to leave and come back.
Okay. Okay. That is fine. If you want to drop real quick and then come on back, that's totally fine. We're just gonna look weird for a second.
It's the easiest way to fix it.
Yep, it's all good.
Yeah.
Joke's on you, already look weird.
Okay.
I fucking love you.
No. We're just gonna look weird for a hot second, y'all. As we get this figured out. It happens.
Yep. It's the way it goes sometimes, everybody.
Yep, it happens. It's all good.
We have received tech gremlins from also from beyond the veil.
Hey, let's go. From also beyond the veil. Nice.
Hang on, because now April is
Let's
the
see.
DM and it's not me.
All right. There's nothing.
I'm
Hang
the
on.
DM
Oh.
now. Am I in? I'm not in
No,
sync.
you are not
No,
in sync, Lovey.
no, you're not.
Or Backstreet Boys.
I had the same thought. Fuck.
What was the thought? I didn't even hear it.
It said Backstreet's back.
Oh,
No,
nice.
she said, I'm not in sync, and Robo said,
Oh, no.
or Backstreet
Lord.
Boys, or
That is amazing.
I'll give that. Okay.
Yeah.
let's- Third time's the charm.
Yep.
So
Yep,
anyway,
yep.
since April's not. Oh.
Hang on, y'all.
Yep. Everybody. No.
How about now?
No.
I don't know.
That's
I don't
safe.
know how to fix this.
Okay. Do you want to
Reboot?
try to, do a reboot?
I'll be back. I guess. I'll
Okay.
try.
All right.
Okay. That's
Okay.
good. While this is happening, I'll just have it. It's fine. You can see my hand. It's fine. And there's captions. So
Yes.
what we'll do is we'll focus on the room that Toby and Deodora are on, and then when
Great.
April pops in, we'll go from there.
I think that sounds good.
So you see, and let me scope out just a smidge, and then boom, boom, boom. I wish I could do so much more with you, Roll20. I really do. Okay. So, you should be able to actually click on that little door icon, and it will unlock for you, and you'll be able to walk in.
Okay.
oh yeah,
Yeah,
cute.
you'll be able to pop in. So this first room on the right, you see a medium-sized room with a vaulted ceiling up of about 20 feet. There are two beds at the end of the room that don't seem like they have been slept in for a very long time. You can see a lot of the bedding has been moth-eaten. It's very dustied all through here as well. There is an armchair in one corner and a desk with rotted leaves on the kind of surface of it. Again, all coated in a very thick layer of dust. The chair has been destroyed, and there is also dust, but it seems like ash next to the chair as well. That's what you're able to see currently in this room.
I will inspect the. You said there's. Oh. Let's see.
Yep, let's see.
Oh boy.
Oh, honey.
What is
How
happening?
about now?
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Oh!
Yes.
It's
Okay,
okay. You
I'm
do it
back.
take a
You're
point
back,
of
baby.
inspiration. You do it
Oh,
so
it's
good.
so sweet.
I don't know. My Zoom has been doing that. It'll just lose sync, and I don't
I've never seen anything like
know
That's so
how to
weird.
stop that or fix it or why.
It's
Because
all good.
literally nothing. I have an internet check going. No, it's monitoring my. I don't know.
that. Yeah.
It's
Zoom being Zoom.
you
And
doing great.
this is the new computer.
Sure.
Right.
We'll take a
Literally
look into
everything
it.
else
Sure.
works.
It's okay.
Okay.
We'll look into it post stream and in the time
We'll take
being.
the stress out on
Yeah.
Gulsarian. Let's go.
For sure.
Yes.
All you missed, April, is I was just describing the room that Deodora and Toby were looking into. It is a medium-sized room with a vaulted ceiling about 20 feet up. There are two beds at the end of the room that don't look like they have been slept in for a long time. They're very moth-eaten. Dust is present throughout the entire room. There is an armchair in one corner and a desk with rotted leaves. The chair has been destroyed, and there is a layer of dust and ash next to it. So that's what's been discovered. As Duval, I saw you raise your hand.
Yeah. Question for you, Jordan.
Sure.
Considering it's a tomb, and with my time with the Falkians in mind, have I heard? Because I've certainly known that this tome has existed for
Correct.
probably a long time. But beds and like furniture being in the tomb, does that seem like fucking
That's
odd?
very out of place, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
This is a sacred area. As I'm not even gonna make
Yeah.
you roll.
Okay.
It
Okay.
hasn't
Great.
popped up in conversation
Sure.
much, just because you have never seen like Desulk and Sylvania come into this area, kind of thing.
Sure. Yeah.
But you know that this is a very sacred area for them. They hold it in high regard. Yes, they've used the tomb previously, but more often than not, they use the land around it for a lot of their practices, for a lot of their healing magic that they do, things like that. Oh, hang on, I forgot to transition because it was right in the one spot. Thank you. So it just seems very strange. And I'll leave it up to you to how do you interpret that, because it could potentially be a smack in the face in regards to Elk.
It's one of those like, it's odd, but need more evidence.
Sure.
You must construct additional pylons.
And to clarify, because I know April, you were asking this question before you left. They are not opening all the doors at once. They are just opening these 2 doors, and that's it. No, not all 6. We're not doing a Scooby-Doo charade thing. So that is all that you see. And I'm gonna in that. Is there anything that you both want to do, real quick, before I pan?
I want to inspect this desk with the ash and the leaves, which it's just as odd as 2 beds being down here, because we're pretty like understanding that like if the doors open, you know, like leaves or whatever could blow open, but this is pretty far in for that.
Correct.
So yeah, I definitely want to inspect, like just kind of go over there and look and see if I notice anything like with my survival or something.
Sure.
Get Sparky to help. Ooh, that's gonna be a 24.
Okay.
Yo.
These leaves have been present for a long time. There's almost like a mummification to them.
Mm-hmm.
There's a fresh coating of dust that's there as well. But someone seemingly placed them here. As to that time, I will say with that survival check, probably dating back over 100 years ago. It's really hard to kind of get an exact approximation just because of the decay that can happen with leaves. So it's really difficult to kind of tell, but you can tell that they've been here for a long time.
Yeah. And what about the broken chair? Like, does it look like it just like broke due to like rot or something, or is it like, does it look like somebody like smashed it?
Based upon that survival check, it looked like something smashed it. It doesn't look like it fell apart due to natural decay.
Yeah. And then something was set on fire.
Potentially.
I want to go Blackstone over.
Okay. While that happens, let's pan over to the other room. Blackstone. And Oria, if you wanted to join Blackstone on this, you're welcome to.
I'll just stand in the middle.
Okay. You see on the right, the door creaks slightly upon your entrance into a medium-sized room, again with vaulted ceilings of about 20 feet up. There are 2 beds at the end of the room with trunks. The stone floor is shattered in some places, and there is a collection of dust by the bed on the left. There's a small armchair and a table. You can also see that there is a single bottle coated in dust with mummified food on a plate. This is what you can see at this time in this room. You are muted, Sin.
If I'm going by like the grid here, this is all of these different bricks are broken up on like maybe like a couple of feet of flooring.
Mm-hmm.
So while I walk, I'm going to go investigate the ash, but as I'm walking by, I'm going to take the time to repair all of the broken stone on the floor.
Sure. Okay. And you do see it mending back into place.
Speaking of Zelda, you fall through. Right? Exactly. Half heart comes.
What's I hate y'all, but I don't. So what do I
Am I
see with this
wrong?
ash on the floor?
Mm-hmm. You see ash on the floor.
Ash?
Where does the ash look like it came from somewhere?
Nope, just looks like another ash spot.
Does he have Pikachu with?
There it was.
I'm going
Robo.
to use.
Literally,
use-
stop. I had the same thought.
The bottle actually says
Mage hand to
ketchup
pick
on
up
it.
the ash.
That's all you can know is ash. That's all you can tell from that.
I was going to like pick out some of the ash with Mage Hand and just have a look at it, and then seeing that is, I'm guessing it's just ash. Between that and fixing the rest of the flooring up here,
Yep.
I'm going to use Mage Hand to see if any of these chests open.
Both of them do open.
What's in there?
So in the one where we're looking at the bottom chest,
Bottom.
so the bed up there, bed here, the lower. You can see that in the chest there are a number of clothes that are very moth-eaten, dating back, again, another maybe 100 or so years. It's kind of difficult to tell, but they seem, you're handling it with care kind of thing. They seem like they could almost fall apart as you're kind of handling it. In the other chest, you do find a small leather-bound book that seems to be loosely tied together with some either twine or rope.
Okay. So, like, I opened them just to see what the contents are, but I don't take anything. I just close them when I'm done looking at them, being like, okay, this is what's in the box.
Okay.
Does this side table here? Well, I don't know if this side table up here at the top right has, like, does it have a drawer, or is it just
No,
there's
it's
plate and
just
bottle up
like a
here?
dining table.
And this is a crate.
Yes.
Is there anything in there?
There is nothing in the crate.
Okay. Are there any like markings on the wall?
No markings.
Okay. Is there any? Well, I mean, Is there any? Are there any magic shenanigans happening over here?
From what you can tell and what you've been seeing, there's been no magical pings, nothing. Probably
Okay.
the only thing of note in this room are the clothes and that notebook. That's it.
Okay. I walk back out of the room, and then head over to Weldor and Oria in the center and go, so in that room over there, there's, well, things that have been apparently forgotten by time. There's also some kind of notebook in there. I'm not sure who that notebook belongs to, as I did not open it. Out of respect for this place, I'm not sure who these things belong to. The notebook might have some indicator of what's happening if you'd like me to go back and get it.
Not so
Yes,
secretive.
get the notebook.
Who said that?
Me, Theodora from the other room.
Oh,
Yeah. Well, we're kind of nod.
Okay, I kind of go. Hold on for a moment. I'm pretty sure I could actually do that from here. Yeah,
As
I
you
kind of-
walk away,
Mhm.
make sure it's not trapped.
Oh, I opened it with the mage hand the last time. I've learned to be prudent with opening things from a distance, especially because, well, at least that particular kind of magic is easier for me to use. And I go mage hand the journal out of here. And just kind of float it along behind me, like a couple of feet away. into the hall. So you just see like Blackstone. Then next to Blackstone, you just see this book kind of floating in the air, making a figure 8.
The hand holding it like this.
Yeah, like the corner.
Ew.
Great minds.
Okay. I think we just got Ash here too, and 2 beds, but that's it.
Does the desk have drawers in it?
Nope, looks like a
Nope.
dining desk or a
It's-
table
oh, it's just-
rather.
okay.
Yeah.
You see Blackstone peek ahead into the room. Hey, what's in here?
Well, we got beds, some leaves that have been here for about 100 years, that were brought in here. I
Oh,
was just about to go check the mattresses and stuff, just in case there was something. There's also a chair in the corner, so I was just gonna check everything.
yeah. Oh. Do the leaves say anything?
Ooh. They do not.
Mm.
Nice try.
Help!
Yeah.
What's this thing?
Regrets.
Regrets.
I'm so old. Get me out of here. If you'd like to help Blackstone, it would be appreciated while we. And it looks like this chair was broken by force.
Oh, well, that's unfortunate. I would like to mend the chair.
I saw that coming.
You mend the chair.
Fluffy, take notes.
Blackstone, can your I don't know what the limitations of your magic are, but could you maybe mend whatever was burned here?
Well, assuming that all the pieces of it are present, I can try. Are you talking about this ash here on the floor?
Yes.
Okay. I am going to try to use mending on the ash on the floor.
Okay. You focus in, feeling that mending starting to try to take hold. But it's almost like your spell is unable to concentrate on it. Things that can be mended are often objects or furniture. This ash was neither.
Okay. So after you watch me like focus on it on a time, you just like the things are not doing, right? Almost like it seems that whatever this ash was made from was unfortunately a living thing. And my ability to reassemble things cannot be used on those.
Oh.
But that tells us something, regardless.
It seems that it actually, can I do an arcana on the ash to see if magic was used to basically roast this person into a crisp, whoever that might have been?
Sure.
Okay. Arcana. Let me see what we get here. Not a whole lot. That's a 15.
It's a little difficult to tell. One, the ash, how old it is, but two, it's not like it was a single spell, but perhaps an ability, which is a little bit harder to tell.
Well, from what I can tell, as I understand for organic life forms, when they perish and decay, they typically don't do so in a manner that leaves ashes behind. I believe whatever happened here is unnatural and possibly magical, but I'm not sure.
Well, thanks for trying. I think Theodora's gonna go like sort of flip the mattresses over, just covering all
I-
my bases.
I would like to passive investigate. And I'm probably gonna go back to the room I just came from and also passive investigate and see if things look out of place, especially because like what if something is under the mattress actually?
Sure. I will say for both, you all do a thorough check. Nothing seems out of place. Besides maybe finding a piece of silver, there's nothing else in these rooms.
Okay. I try my best to leave the room at least the way that I found it, except for repairing broken things.
Sure.
I don't. I'm going to not like a disrespectful way,
Sure.
but like I think Deodora wants to take those leaves because it feels like they were brought down here for a reason, and it just seems odd that they're, like maybe there's something that someone can glean off of them. But I
Sure.
want to do it like carefully, like put it in like, I don't know, put them in like a separate bag away from everything.
Yeah, you can do that.
Just in case there's something off.
Sure.
I learned my lesson.
Yes, you can easily do that, not a problem.
Theodora, a nomad in person of the woods, is kind of like, I don't trust a single flower on this planet now.
I think I'll also take some of the ash too.
Okay. Yeah, you have a vial that you could use to
Yeah.
put some of the ash in easily enough. Oreo, what are you doing during this time? Just kind of keeping watch, or
Just keep him watch.
okay. Why don't you make a perception check for me, please?
Can I aid?
Sure.
$16.
16. Did you roll that with advantage since Weldor is assisting
Yes.
you? Okay, cool.
The other one was 11.
Okay. The noises of your party mates as they're kind of ransacking these rooms can be heard, but there's no other noises. Nothing else seems to be present at this time. So
Perfect.
you are good for the moment. All right. You have a notebook. You have 4 more doors. You have acquired some ash and some kind of old leaves. What do y'all do?
So I waddled on down the hall
Okay.
And the
as sneakily
leaves,
as possible.
What were you saying, Robo?
the leaves didn't tell me anything, right?
No, the leaves did not tell you anything.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's just go.
Same thing.
Oh, I
Sacred
forgot
flame
which
held.
one.
This is fun. This is fun.
I love a dungeon crawl.
Yeah.
I'm glad you're enjoying it. That's good. Okay. Let me.
Okay.
I gotta move things slightly. All right. So who's going to which room?
I think we're just staying our
Same sides. Okay. So
Yeah.
all right. So we're gonna go to Deodora and Toby again. Pan over there. Hang on, because I'm going down my list. I apologize. So Deodora and Toby, you enter a similar looking room, medium size with vaulted ceilings. There are 2 beds at the end of the room. The one on the right, though, has been completely destroyed. You can also see that there seems to be a barrel of some kind that's to the left as you're coming into the room. There's also a series of thick kind of cobwebs that have kind of gathered over top of the destroyed bed.
just over the destroyed bed.
Correct.
Well, that's weird.
And
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
there's no windows here, right?
No, this is all underground.
This is all underground. Okay. So, yeah, go ahead.
I'm sorry. I have a question about this. Is this just broken?
Yep. You're
I
kind of
noticed in the other room too.
yeah, you're just noticing that, and it might be because of these rooms have been around for a while. It's a lack of upkeep, so it's more of wear and tear, and just the fact that this is falling apart, kind of thing.
Okay. I'll check the barrel.
Okay. You immediately get the scent of rum. Seems to be in this barrel. Very, very aged rum, but rum is there.
Rum is not gone.
Yeah.
The rum is not gone.
You know what? And the rum is going to stay.
Fair enough.
Ashes and leaves I will take. I am not taking a sip of any sort of drink down here. No food that has not been cooked by one of us will be consumed.
There you go.
I
Okay.
think that's smart.
Anything else the two of you wish to do before I pan over?
I'm gonna do the
gonna-
same thing.
Okay.
Oh, go ahead, Toby. Go ahead, Toby.
I'm gonna take out my quarterstaff.
Okay.
I'm just gonna poke the bed,
Okay.
the destroyed one,
It
to see if I see.
further falls, like it was kind of tilted on one leg. That poke just kind of jarred it, so the rest of it kind of falls to the ground as like a fresh layer of dust pops up.
Oops, sorry.
Nothing else happens.
And is there ash there too?
No ash.
No ash. So that's just dust then.
Yeah, just a fresh layer of dust and cobwebs.
Huh.
I think we're clear here, Theodora.
I think so.
You want to check the
Let's
other
go.
bed?
Okay.
Yeah, I'll ransack this room.
You find about 5 more silver.
Oh fuck, rich bitch. I'm going to college.
You are able to find about 5 more silver, but other than that, there is nothing else of note in this room.
Cool.
Okay.
Okay.
Then I'll head back into the hallway
All
with
right.
Waldor and Oria.
As we pan over to where Blackstone is, if you want to go on in.
Opens the door.
All right. So you see, again, similar medium-sized room, same vaulted ceilings, about 20 feet up. The floor has more cracks spread throughout it, though. There are 2 beds at the end of the room, but both beds have been completely collapsed and destroyed. There is a wooden table that is on its side with a large leg kind of broken off. Sorry, I lost my slide. Part of the wall and floor has been ripped out as a large series of branches extend halfway through the room. You can see a series of leaves and boulders with a rust-colored stain are on the floor around it. You do also see that there was what seemed to be some kind of trunk has been completely destroyed, and there are a series of spider webs in the corner.
Do the set of like plant life, the branches and stuff that are in here, do any of them look alive?
Yes.
Everyone hears a whistle from the room that Blackstone is in.
I flinch because it hurts my ears.
Waldor will start to walk over.
Yeah. Theodore will head over too.
Yep. All of you
I
see the
just-
same sight.
I decided not to fix anything first before you all got to see it this time.
Oh. Huh.
I assume Jordan looks much more recent than 100 years old.
The branches?
Uh-huh.
That's harder to tell. You would need to do some kind of check.
So I look at
Or if you're
Waldor
looking at like the stain on the floor. Sorry, Sin, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, that's fine. I look at Waldor and Toby and go, that plant there is still alive. I don't know how that works as a skill. Can you speak to plants like these and ask them what happened?
Can I? No, not today.
Not prepared.
Nope. I don't think I can speak to them if I don't have that. I just say that plants are already listening to you.
Can I make a medicine check to see, like, age? Because I'm assuming this is a skeleton. body looking thing here, along with
Hot.
You say skeleton. All you can see really is just that stain. You don't see anything otherwise. There's
You
no
don't
like
see.
hands
We don't
sticking
see
out.
this. What is this?
yeah,
Oh,
right.
that,
That's
sorry. Fluffy had that. Sorry, I didn't know that was there.
Fluffy be hiding shit.
Fluffy, whose side are you on?
We'll say yeah, for the sake of
Our
brevity.
side,
yes,
clearly.
that is a skeleton. Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna look around, kind of investigate the stain using medicine.
Okay.
Like I'm looking for like age, like reason.
Over 100
you know.
years.
Yeah.
I'm not even gonna make you roll.
Okay.
Listen, Fluffy. There's a lot going on.
Told you I put corpses.
I didn't know where exactly you put them. Okay, like
Surprise to
surprise,
me too.
It's good.
Surprise corpses.
I'm here for it.
Down.
So you can tell it's been here for a long time. Probably if there was another person present, which probably by the amount of like rust stain on the ground, probably. Seems like this protrusion from the wall and the ricocheting boulders did the job.
Yeah. Rust, I can confirm is blood. Yes.
100%.
Okay, great. That's what that's what I wanted to verify. I assumed, just wanted to validate.
I'm sorry, dear. Were you gonna say something, April? No? Oh. Oh, you just put something on your mind.
I was trying to
Okay.
sneak a snack.
Oh, see, I just saw your hand down. Okay. Sorry. Sorry.
Damn.
Can
Not
I
exposing people?
listen? Can I just go around here to check if there's anything like down? They're coming through the ground, right?
Seems like it's coming through the ground and part of the wall.
Okay. Can I see if there's anything inside the hole?
Just darkness. That's all you see. Yes, Duval.
Has it been 10 minutes since we started investigating things?
Probably at this point, yes.
Okay. Then never mind. He'll just kind of look around. Shall we keep moving?
Yeah, I think so.
I'm just going to walk around here. Wait, what happened? I'm going to like walk over to these things, and I don't know if there's things to investigate as much as just to know that stuff is broken. So I'll like keep an eye out for things that look abnormal, but I'm also going to fix them.
Okay. All right. Anything else you all wish to do?
Quick question for Oreo. What's your passive insight?
High enough to know you're the big bad.
I guess I set you up for that. Fair enough.
Yeah, my passive insight is 15.
Yeah. 15. Yeah, as he walks out, because you've sort of been hanging with him, this like in the middle of the hallway, he looks lost in thought, and like it's like and just like questioning things.
I don't say anything, but I start watching you.
Okay.
I'm
How's that
actually
different
watching
from any
this,
other time?
Yeah, I'm watching to see what triggers that.
Interesting. Okay, fair enough.
Are we moving forward then?
And he'll hold Sacred Flame again.
Yeah, I already moved into the middle.
I take a femur. I'm kidding.
I'm curious about. Maybe we can move on, but I am concerned about doing so. Let me ask you all a question. As we're kind of walking up the hall, did you also have spider webs in your room?
There were cobwebs in the room across the hall.
Yeah.
Only on one side of the room.
When Blackstone brings up spiders, have we seen any bugs or anything else like that?
There's been small, like, critters, like little spiders, but nothing of note. Nothing like the bone weavers or anything that you've come across. Literally just looks like a house spider kind of just hanging out, and it looks like they've made their home.
Okay, so some of the net, they just look like spider webs of a
Correct.
long old tunnel. Okay.
Yeah. Nothing of
So-
like, oh, a giant like Aragog is just chilling in this hallway kind of thing.
Okay.
Well, let's see. The first two rooms that we investigated did not have such presence, in spite of all of these things being here for a while, long enough in some cases to have ash and moth-eaten clothing. The second set of rooms has cobwebs, but also has a tunnel that seems to lead to somewhere that a plant could thrive, which probably means it is well outside of this castle, or dungeon, or wherever we are. Mausoleum, catacomb, not sure. But I feel like we might want to be a bit more on guard for things coming in from unusual places. Especially since we've at least confirmed that there is one room with a hole that goes outside somewhere.
Blackstone, is the notebook still like like just hanging out behind you?
Yep, it has it is it'll be within 30 feet of me somewhere.
Okay.
If you
we want to take a look.
Oh, take a look at what? Oh, the notebook. Oh, well, I suppose we should. Would you like to read this?
And he'll just hold out a claw.
And the notebook just gingerly lands.
Insight check on Weldor again. Insight check on Weldor again. Insight check on Weldor again.
Amazing.
You see from all of a sudden these flames appear. No, I'm kidding.
That's a 9.
Damn it,
Weldor
April.
being Weldor.
Everything's fine. Weldor just loves to read, y'all.
It does. Okay. You have the book in your claw. Are you opening it?
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and open it.
Okay. What languages do you speak and read?
Aquan, Celestial, Common, Draconic.
Okay. You can tell that parts of this leather-bound book, it almost is crumbling in your hands as you're holding it kind of gingerly. It's written with aspects of Celestial. Parts of the pages have been torn out in sections, and you can see there's also markings of red, kind of that same rust colored in. But I'm going to send you a thing real quick.
Sure.
As there are a couple of passages.
Jordan just tells.
Oh,
them
just a
all
couple.
Now's the time to reveal.
Jordan sends Weldor his actual level 20 character sheet and reroll initiative.
No.
Oh fuck.
You can see these on a
What makes you think that she rolled it?
It's true. So you were
Just
able to
min-maxed
see
me down.
this. They look like they're on 3 separate pages. It's hard, and towards the back of the notebook. It's hard to read the like several pages that are ahead of the book just because it's kind of torn up and so aged. But these last 3 are what you're able to read.
And he'll read this out loud. The night sky was showered. First of all, well, what year is it right now?
619 AR.
619 AR. Okay.
Mhm.
21/11/63. The night sky was showered with fallen stars. Strange stones have appeared that light the darkness around us. We found several and began investigating them. May need to alert Felk along with Zykorn, Ashai, and Ilra. 26/11/63. Communications have stated that these stones have. And it drops off. Several fields are reporting their crops are dried up. Unsure if this is due to the harsh summer weather or something more. We've brought some of these Whoops, you cut off. That's stores. Fucking.
Stones to investigate with the permission of C.
Okay, cool. Okay, you just shut it for everybody, but for the audience, yeah, because Zoom like has like the emoji button like right in front of the word stone, so that's perfect. Thanks for that, Zoom. Anyway, and then lastly, Unit 31, 1163. This may be the last record. Our watch has been infiltrated. Strange plants have begun attacking the lower levels. We're trying to hold them back as best as we can, but unsure if we can hold for long. Whitlock has been acting strangely for the past 2 days. Plants may be spreading from the spores. We'll send a message to C, and then it cuts off.
See?
And he'll like carefully, like very carefully close the book. So based off of that, like, can I confirm how long ago it is from present to when this was written?
Over 1,000 years. This is, whatever this is, this happened before the rupture, that period of time. Still using the same months system that y'all are in, but there's no other, like, AR or PAR or anything like that to notate it otherwise. This is easily a little, probably from that, want to say almost 2,000 in totality years ago. Between the period just before this time and then the rupture period that happens over several decades of time. So almost 2,000 years ago in total.
What's been bothering me is everything I've been told by everyone I've ever met in Felk is that this particular tome was sacred. Doesn't feel very sacred, does it?
Not really, no.
But was I told that it was sacred to keep eyes and ears from it? And of course, from there, who?
What does it mean that shower with falling stars? Strange toes? No, never mind. There,
Possibly.
the strange stones just appear out of nowhere, then?
Well, possible interpretations for that could possibly include phenomena like a meteor shower or the casting of spells that call for meteors. And it could be either.
Okay, this is gonna be like a weird question, but Jordan, has there been any meteor showers since we're around? Like, or was there like a recent meteor shower here, or that I remember, that Toby remembers?
Meteor showers are pretty rare. You probably saw one maybe like 7 years ago, right around that time. But they're pretty uncommon. To see shooting stars, yeah, that happens. But for a perfectly isolated event, it's like a meteor shower, for instance, it's a little bit harder and a little bit rarer.
Okay.
Yes, fair.
I think Theodora is sort of, listening to like their speculation in Weldor, speculation of he was told it was sacred, and maybe that was to keep him out. And I think Theodora will look like, maybe what's sacred to you isn't what's sacred to them. It could be sacred, but just not in the way that you think it is.
As in preserved?
Yeah.
It's a thought.
They said it was a tomb, but they never said it had to have bodies in it. I mean, it does, but it's not like it's not really a graveyard. It's a tomb of it's preserving something, preserving a moment in time. The journal mentions Felk. How long ago has Felk been underground?
Are you asking me or are you asking Bubba?
I'm sorry, that's out of character.
Sure.
I'm asking-
I wanted to make sure before popping
The
in.
accent change is what I assume.
It's hard to tell. Felk has been around for a long time. As for them, I mean, they're believed to have been completely demolished. So, there's gets into speculations about folklore and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So it gets a little bit tricky.
Do any of the lines?
Hang on one second, Sin. I want to get through the rest of fairs, and then I will pop over to you.
I just, Theodora will say, based on folklore, Felk has been hidden away for who knows how long, and maybe this was the catalyst. Maybe this was Felk originally. Or an offshoot of Felk. Something. It seems like they are tied. Along with these other towns that I don't know if I've heard of them. Okay, I'm done.
This looks lost in thought again.
Blackstar, was there something you wanted to do? Okay. I got your message. So for audiences at home, they're asking if anything triggers a memory. And with that roll that came in, the names sound very familiar to you. The names sound very familiar to do, whether it be Felk, along with Zykor, Nashai, Ilra. Those names, they have meaning. What that might be otherwise, it's harder to tell. But there is something there that is giving you resonance when it comes to that. Otherwise, no, nothing else. Whitlock, also meaning behind it, but based upon that roll, there's not much else that's coming to your mind in terms of it.
Well, we're look at Theodora. By the way, I'm not judging by any means. Sacred can mean many things, to your point.
Oh. I didn't think you were judging or anything. It's just a thought that I had. I do find it curious. I wonder if they know what's down here. Like maybe knowledge of this being sacred is something that's been passed down without knowledge of what's inside.
So when we make it out of this mess, I know exactly who I plan to ask.
That kind of, I think you're talking about your friend Gidget. Oh, I'm kidding. Geegan. I still find it very strange that the first thing that anybody from Felk that you've spoken to or met, they could only harp on about how you were late or you missed something and not concerned about where you've been.
Perhaps.
It bothers me, and maybe I'm overreacting. I don't know. It just seemed very strange that there was no concern for your well-being.
Hopefully we'll find out.
Yeah.
But you're concerned, you're not alone.
I think, I don't know if you have a good, or well, Blackstone remembers a lot of things. So I think it would be safe to leave the journal here.
All right.
If that's okay with Blackstone.
Blackstone just started walking off toward the door and goes,
And just holds the journal up.
Are you able to remember what's written here?
I can. Perhaps. I wonder if that's reparable, actually.
Might be.
Try it.
And he'll just kind of hold it open.
It's not reparable because the pages are made out of human skin. Just kidding.
Holy shit! That's dark.
Doesn't the problem that just because you can fix the paper doesn't mean the ink will come back?
I suppose one way to find out.
I'll go and use mending on the notebook just to see what happens.
Okay.
Now it explodes.
The pages start to mend, but no ink appears. That's it.
It was worth a try.
Absolutely.
I'm going to keep this. I think this might be an important piece of history. And, maybe the people of Falk would like to have it.
Maybe.
I'm gonna just put out a hand for the notebook.
As he hands it to you? No, go ahead.
And just put it in a bag.
As he hands it to you, I've apparently insulted people for less. He just gives it to you. Shall we?
Yep. 1,
Circuit flame held.
2, 3.
All right. And as you are all about to step into the next step of doors and look at these final 2 rooms in this hallway, I think that's an excellent place to
No,
stop.
I open the door. Tell me what it is.
Nope. Excellent place to stop for today. Just because we're getting really close to time. As much as I want to keep
go
going.
more.
I know. I'm sorry. It's okay.
30 more minutes, Mom.
No, we'll explore more next week. So yeah, fantastic job today, y'all. You dive in deep. We're going for it. Thank you so much. Any quick announcements before we head out of here? Anything? Yeah.
Where did I put that stuff? Yeah. So remember, because first of all, happy Pride once again. Next week, actually starting tomorrow, myself, Honorian, Persephoroth, a couple other folks are going to be streaming Final Fantasy V, doing the 4-job Fiesta Challenge, where we are randomly assigned 4 classes that we have to pick, or that we have to play the game on, and we're actually raising money for the National Black Trans Advocacy Coalition. Ferris once again says trans rights are fucking human rights, and that's just what it is. It's the fucking truth. So watch out on the socials for scheduled times as well as on the Tiltify. Thank you.
Awesome. Anything else before we head out of here, y'all?
Oh, Duval and I are going to be in a one-shot next
yeah.
Friday on that Gamer Shares channel, raising money for Color of Change in celebration of Juneteenth. It's at a time that I don't remember. I think it's 7 p.m. Eastern.
I can look really quickly.
We're doing that.
Let me look really fast because we were just given, June 16th at 8:00 p.m. Eastern time. That's this coming Friday.
And also hire Jordan. Thank you.
Thanks, bye.
Thanks so much. Okay, y'all. we're going to get out of here. Thank you so much for hanging out with us today. Tune in next week as we continue this dungeon delve / lore. Things are happening. We are going to head on over to Awkwardish Panda, who is live right now. So we're going to head on out. But thank you all so much for spending your afternoon with all of us. Reminder, please go support those creators and actual plays that you love to watch. Tell them what you enjoy about their shows. It goes a really long way. And hey, pop on over to our Patreon while we're doing some awesome stuff. So thank you so much, and we'll see you all next time. Beyond the Veil. Bye, everybody.